I was among those who were so fortunate to come across your talk. It rang so many bells. It just reminded me of how I grew up, and listening to all my female friends of expressions and thoughts that they grew up listening to, and not necessarily uh, understanding why, but finding themselves having to behave in a particular way to fit within the boundaries of those expressions. Um, you said chuk is used in your culture to silence women. Well, in mine we say hus, so pretty much the same. And over time, you develop that extra sensitivity to when the hus is going to come your way. From a very early on, as a little girl, you get tuned to, the things that may aggravate the listener to tell you to hus. And over time, that hus doesn't have to be even said. The sound or the word does not have to be said. You replace, or those who try to control your life and silence you, replace the word with signs. So it's either the wide stare of the eye or the finger pointing to the lips without even saying hus. And you know that if you don't, then something bad is going to happen. Let me share with you some of the expressions that I grew up listening to, either said to me or to other women and girls around me, and without even assessing whether I have to abide by them or not, I find myself doing that. First, the day you're born, your mother is told that you are a burden. In my language, we say, هم البنات من الميلاد للممات. You are a burden from birth to death. So imagine your mother holding you as a child and genuinely thinking of you as this precious piece of life that came from her, but is going to burden her. Why a burden? Why would a new life of a beautiful, innocent girl be a burden? Let me tell you why. Because everything about her is heavy. Let's start with her body. That's the biggest sin. If she's beautiful, then she is a burden more than not being, because this means that other men will be pursuing her. If she's not beautiful, that is a burden, because no one would fancy her enough to want to marry her. And then you grow up a bit. You start leaving the house and interacting with the real world. Anything that might go wrong is your fault. Because if you are harassed, if you are mistreated by men in the outer world, then it must be about what you were wearing or not, how you walk, whether you smile and flirt and send wrong signals. So men's misbehavior is always caused, and it's stirred by you. You are the one who force men to misbehave. But at the same time, and this takes me to the second expression, you do not have a mind of your own, because شور البنات من رأي الأبهات. So you do not have a say on how to live your life or who to be. The opinion is for your father. The decision is for the father, or any male figure who appoints himself a guardian over your life, your future, and how you think and how you behave. And then you go from there to becoming someone's wife. And you feel that you're being handed over from one man to another. How are you inducted to becoming someone's wife? Your secrets should never be shared. Even if you are burning from within, keep it quiet. Stay silent. It matters that your life shines from the outside. We hear it all the time. من برا رخام, من جوا سخام. No matter how horrible your life is, make it look as if you're living a perfect life. Because social perception of who you are, how your life may be, matters way more than whether you are living a real happy life, a fulfilled life or not. So you become someone's wife. You're expected to be sophisticated, to live the role. If you work, then that is a plus that adds to your point system, because that means that you generate income. But that does not necessarily mean that you have a say in how you're going to use that income. Men in my culture are taught from a very early age to consult with their women and do exactly the opposite. And that takes me to my third point. It says, شاوروهم وخالفوهم. Believe it or not, you are living with a person who would consult with you to do exactly the opposite of whatever advice you may give. So what happens? With time, we learn how to give the opposite opinion for them to do exactly what we want. And here comes the dance. We dance around each other. We learn how to live around men. We learn how to anticipate their shortfalls and then act in a way that make us eventually get what we want. But you never get the full life, because the full life requires that you are courageous enough to stand up for yourself and say, I'm not happy now and here. But if you do that, you are a bad woman. Why? Because the minute you become someone's wife and someone's mother, it is expected from you to sacrifice. You as an individual do not exist. You are always part of. You are someone's daughter, someone's wife, someone's mother. And you have duties that you need to fulfill for you to be a good daughter, a good wife, a good mother. It doesn't matter if you're not good to yourself. And this makes me wonder, how can I be good in all these roles if I'm not honest and good to myself? You start thinking of standing up for yourself. Who do you talk to? You were taught not to share your deepest pains because that exposes you. You were taught that this will take away from your sense of pride. It matters that you look like a shining marble. So who do you go to? Well, Deepa, in my culture as well, we're told never to trust a woman. It says, حكي تنتين بخرب بيتين. If two women get together and start talking, the result will be two ruined houses. That's how it translates. So when women come together, nothing good can come out of that. You just don't talk to other women. You don't trust other women. Who do you talk to? Who do you go to? How do you stand up for yourself? How do you raise self-assured girls when you yourself, the mother, are so in doubt and so confused? If you dare to say, you know what, that's it, I'm done, this isn't for me, I want out of this relationship, you're told, ظل رجال ولا ظل حيط. A shadow of a man is better than a shadow of a wall. So you're told that even if it's so horrible from within, even if you're not happy, you need to be protected by a man because you cannot protect yourself. You are incomplete if not defined for that who you are with, be it the father, the brother, the son, the husband, always a male figure. And it just makes me wonder, how could society heal more than 50% of its threads? Because, society is like this beautiful fabric. If 50% of the threads in a piece of cloth are tired, pale, colorless, and about to break, how could the fabric be strong enough? As women, we're told to be disciplined. We're told that only if we are obedient, we're good enough. There's this expression that really upsets me. It says, المرأة المطيعة مثل الفرس الأصيلة. So an obedient woman is like a winning horse. Obedience means that you follow instructions, that you do as you're told, that you do not think for yourself and independently. I'm confused. I look at myself. I come from, a very well-educated family. I was sent to the best schools, best universities, taught to think completely independently. But deep within, I know that there are those boundaries that grew tighter and tighter around the free soul in me, to a point that I'm confined to a very small space.